Klingt noch nicht noch ein bisschen. Klingt dann ja auch schon.
Ja, doch toll.
Schon kann man uns denn gut hören hier. Wohnung. Aus.
Ja.
Oh ja, witzig. Ja, weißt du was, Anna, ich fange noch mal so an. Ich habe dir ja
Ja.
noch gar keine Frage gestellt. Hast du
Nee.
schon mal irgendwas gespielt?
Nee.
Nee.
Ich habe tatsächlich gar nichts.
Ich glaube, du hast mich angelogen. Du hast es ja gerade einmal ausprobiert.
Ja,
Ist
okay.
mies geflogen.
Ja, das hat ja auch richtig gut geklappt.
Ja, ja. Ja, für die Leute, die das hier ja, Anna quasi durch meine Arme spielt. Also ich steuere das, was du sagst, was passiert. Du wirst
Das
dann
weiß
gleich,
ich ja auch erst seit jetzt.
ja, du wirst dann verstehen, was damit dann gemeint ist.
Okay.
Sehr darauf ausgelegt, was du spielst. Schon.
Okay.
Sehr
Ähm,
hm. Ähm, von uns? So, hört man uns jetzt besser? Stanley Parable. Ein sehr tolles Spiel, wie ich finde. Du wirst merken. So, warum? Wir fangen an. Nicht mit dem Intro?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ja, Anna, was machen wir?
Okay. Wir gehen erstmal raus.
Wir gehen raus.
Wir gehen raus.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Wir gehen
mean?
weiter?
Wir gehen
Stanley
weiter.
decided to go to the
Da
meeting
ist ja
room.
niemand.
Perhaps
Nee.
he had simply missed a memo.
Niemand ist. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Gehen wir durch die linke Tür?
Ja.
Ja.
Links ist immer gut.
Gut.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Gehen wir hoch? Gehen wir runter?
Ja, dann gehen wir hoch.
Gehen wir hoch.
Ja, wir gehen hoch.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Das hätten wir doch runtergehen
He
sollen.
stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Da ist was offen.
Ja.
Da gehen wir rein.
Ja.
Ne, wir müssen noch
Wir
raus.
können, glaube ich, nicht.
Gehen wir hier hin.
Ja. Oh. Angst vor Aufzügen, ne?
Haben wir? Haben wir nicht?
Nein.
Hast du irgendeine Angst?
Ich habe eine Kotzphobie.
Ja, stimmt. Da haben wir ja die Tage drüber gesprochen.
Ja.
Ja, gestern.
Descending deeper
Yeah,
into the
stimmt.
building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his
Eine Freundin
chest,
von mir hat
as
einen
though he
Aufzug.
felt more
Kein-
free to
kein
think
Aufzug.
for himself.
Nur
to
Aufzüge
question
oder so
the nature
generell?
of his job.
Klaustrophobie.
Nee,
This
vor allem
now,
Aufzüge.
when
Okay.
for years
Ja.
it had
Das ist aber
never
ein bisschen
occurred
blöd,
to
weil die
him.
oft an ihrem
This
Fuß verletzt
question
sind.
would not go unanswered
Oh,
for
yeah.
long.
Ja. Und dann wird sie gezwungen.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Raus?
Oder? Wohl da, Escape steht.
Nach links gehen. Wir gehen links?
Links.
Okay.
Du kannst auch sagen, wo wir lang gehen.
Although
nee,
this
nee, das-
passageway
du
had the
machst das
word
hier.
Okay.
escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh.
Oh. Das ist
The door
blöd.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Das ist. Na. Findest du? Doch, können wir umdrehen.
Nee.
Den ganzen Weg jetzt hierher
Nee,
gelaufen.
nee, nee.
ne?
Das
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Ich werde so eine Maschine bauen.
ja.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Witzig, weil du hast
Do you
es gibt-
see now? Do you see that
Ich,
Stanley was
ich
already
denke, dir
dead
ist klar,
from
was
the
das Spiel
moment
so
he
von einem
hit
möchte,
start?
ne? Dass
Ja.
man halt irgendwie macht, was man will oder halt die Story folgt oder so. Und das
Ja.
ist jetzt hier gerade so ein bisschen das Museum, sage ich mal,
Ja.
zum Making-of von dem Spiel. Hier halt die Leute irgendwie gemacht haben. Die Knopftöne. Mal so ganz viel entdecken, irgendwie so, sag mal, aus den Entwicklungsphasen irgendwie, was da so passiert ist.
Ja,
So,
ja.
ja, früh in der Entwicklung, Ende, so ein Ending von dem Spiel, wo man irgendwie auf so ein Battlefield irgendwie.
Ja.
Ist.
Mhm.
Exit. Ja.
Ja.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Machen's aus.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it.
Yeah.
Don't let time...
Ja? Bin. Man kann gucken, was passiert.
Aber passt, glaube ich, nicht so. Weiß ich nicht.
Sag was.
Sag was. Wir.
Wir fortsetzen zurück. Also, sie hat gesagt, das ist die einzige Möglichkeit, aufhört zu spielen.
Ja, dann.
Dann hören wir auf zu spielen.
Ja,
Okay, gut, das
dann-
war's von unserem Stream.
Genau, das
Danke
war's.
fürs Zuschauen. Okay, nee, dann kommen wir starten neu. Schlagen es so halb. Wir gehen raus.
Ja. Dann treffen wir.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Ja.
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Weiter?
Wir gehen weiter.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nee?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Springen. Ja, wir können hier drauf.
Ja, wir können.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hi, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
X auf der Tastatur. Was müssen wir jetzt machen?
Ja.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
C drücken?
Ja,
Ja.
das kriege ich hin.
Look at him
krass.
pushing
Wow,
buttons,
oder?
doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Wow.
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Zeit mit den Kindern zu verbringen.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Den Kindern eine Geschichte zu
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
X und dann einfach.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Schlafen zu gehen.
Jetzt können wir da.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. Wie viel Zeit hast du? Also, so heute.
Ah. Schon.
Auch Zeit.
Ne?
Ja. Müssen wir doch arbeiten.
Müssen wir.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Nichts in Frage zu stellen.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Wow.
And I tried again,
Drastische Wendung.
and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Ja, das Ganze nochmal, spielt ihr selbst nochmal?
Ja,
Ja.
wir wollen ja leben.
Ja.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Gehen rechts.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ja.
Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Da ist der Meeting Room.
Ja.
Da?
Warum denn nicht?
Dann geht's nach unten.
Wir gehen nach.
Toll.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Links.
Ja.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Kann passieren. Ich finde
No,
Fehler sind
no,
menschlich.
not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right?
Einmal.
What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
This way.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
Yeah,
Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
So. Hier. Ja. Jetzt hier?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you
Yeah,
there
but-
definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again,
Oh.
but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Aber nicht, wird nicht anders. Oh,
All of his co-workers were gone.
Wieder.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this
Jetzt
wrong.
hast du aber was gemacht.
It's possible
ja,
the
ich
story
glaube,
is
ich bin
back where we just
falsch
came
irgendwann.
from.
Ja.
So lang.
Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Aha! Eine neue Tür.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something.
Wow.
The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely
da.
forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Geil, wir haben gewonnen.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Gut.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Oh. Wir folgen der Linie? Ja?
Ja, wir können jetzt zumindest beginnen.
Okay.
Ich weiß nicht, ob die uns endlich...
Wir folgen der Linie.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Ja. Geht auch.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Ein bisschen. Aber eigentlich spielst du, ja.
Ja,
Hast du dich eingeprägt?
total.
Okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Jetzt sind wir hier schon wieder.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Weißt du wieder.
Die Abenteuerlinie.
Das ist
You know
unfehlbar.
what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ja.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a
Nee,
new
total, der
path, a
Gang
new
ist so
story. Well, it
spannend.
could be anything. What do you want our story to
5, 6
be?
Mal um die Ecke und
Go
dann...
wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our
Abenteuer.
awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms.
Das ist das
Just don't
Abenteuer.
acknowledge it.
Ich
We
finde die
should be
sehr
fine.
abenteuerlich, die Linie.
Ja.
Ja, an der Wand entlang. Oh. Böse.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay,
Yeah.
so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this?
Fusion End.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight
was passiert ist.
times? That's really how all this
Und darf ich dir
goes?
was zeigen?
It's all determined?
Nein.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget?
Das ist
Well, what if I don't
geplant.
want to forget?
Ja, ich,
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this
aber auch egal, welche
thing
Entscheidung man trifft. Ne?
wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
So, wir gehen wieder?
Ja.
Ja.
Nicht?
Ja, weiß ich nicht.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Die linke Tür.
Yet there was not a single person here
For
either.
not getting
Feeling a wave
Don't
of
get tired.
disbelief, Stanley
Stimmt
decided to
schon.
go
That's
up to
schon
his
gut, ja.
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
Irgendwie
I'm dreaming!
gehen wir
He
im Kreis.
yelled.
Wir gehen im
This
Kreis,
is all
wo
a
wir träumen.
dream.
Ja, okay.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job.
Die
He
merken?
wasn't crazy after
Nee,
all.
der Busch war
But he thought
wichtig.
to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it
Frag
all
mich grad,
very
welches
odd
Level von
and wondered if this
Metakognition
voice
das dann
spoke to
schon ist.
all
Ja.
people in their dreams, the truth was that, of
Dass er
course,
darüber nachdenkt, dass er
this
etwas
was not a
hört,
dream.
was er
How could it be?
Dass seine Stimme ihm
Was
sagt, dass
Stanley
er darüber
simply
nachdenkt, dass er
Ja.
die Stimme hört und
Believing that if
darüber
he's
Ja.
asleep, he doesn't have to
Der
take
kann
responsibility
Steve
for
Thin,
himself.
thin Layer Steve.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his
weil der
life.
Traum von einer Frau spricht.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be
Witzigerweise, das
normal.
war
I am sane. I am in control.
ja eine
of
der
my mind.
ersten, sag ich mal,
I know what is real
Studien
and what isn't.
in der Psychologie in
It
dem
was
Sinne,
comforting to
dass,
think this, and in a certain
zwar,
way, seeing
aber
this
dass,
man
dass
made her
so
feel
Kriminelle im
better.
Prinzip
Then she remembered the meeting she
miteinander
had
verglichen
scheduled for
wurden,
that
so
day.
welche
The
Gesichtsmerkmale
very
die
important people,
aufweisen. Ich
ja.
weiß nicht, ob ihr das
impressions
auch
of
schon
her
mal
would
Genau, das
affect
ist
her
mir
career,
etwas bekannt.
and
Ja.
by extension,
Da
the
war
rest
dann
of
irgendwie
her
so,
life.
das sind die
She had no
Gesichter
time for
Mörders.
this.
Ja, ja.
So it
Mörder
was
genommen.
only a
Ja.
moment that she stood there, staring down
Aber
at
ich
the
weiß nicht
body,
mehr, was die
and then she turned and
alle
ran.
so.
Die hatten alle Merkmale,
Ja.
ne? Ja, ja, aber es war, also Jahre ist das her halt. Das ist spannend. Die Forschung da geguckt. So, was machen wir jetzt?
Einem bringt ja nichts. Los.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ich? Ja. Ich möchte. Okay.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Ist immer zum
Perhaps he
Pausenraum,
wanted to
ne?
stop by the employee
Ja,
lounge
das ist halt
first,
auch wirklich ein
just to
toller Raum,
admire
den
it.
Ja.
man wirklich besuchen sollte. Also ich
Ja.
meine,
The lounge
jetzt
was
auch noch einmal
sublime,
durch.
a work of art. What was it about this room that called so
Hier sind
deeply
Berge,
and so
keine
personally to
Getränke.
Stanley? Its grace, its subtle charm?
Deutschland.
No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
nicht alle Entscheidungen?
Ja, dude. Genau.
Musst du aber spielen.
Stanley was so
And then
bad at
Nathan
following
Ford.
directions,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
incredible he
That's
wasn't
awesome.
fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Bis jetzt ja, super.
Someone you've
Was
forgotten
ich jetzt mache.
about. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
So.
that convinced that I want something
was-
bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really
Rainer.
do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Eine Chance.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nein.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there?
Yeah.
You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option.
Ooh.
This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Doch.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you there.
Irgendwie doch da
Now,
gelandet.
tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Was sagst du, die dritte Tür?
Ja,
War schon gut, ne? Eine 4 oder eine 5?
jetzt nehmen.
Ja, ist es eine 4 oder, also ist es 5 von 5 oder so? Ja, ja.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ja,
Mein
Ort.
Au.
Jetzt.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Kannst du das Leaderboard?
Was ist das mit?
Ich nicht so. Ich?
Mit?
Zwei, ne?
Ja.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your
4 Stunden Zeit?
experience.
Mhm. Oh. Auch?
Ja, wurde das noch?
Okay.
Baby auch aufhören zu krabbeln?
Mhm. Haben ja Babys so an sich. Wir können
Aber
dann
das
krabbeln
jetzt?
die.
Ah, okay, ja. Dass ich keine Babys habe. Aber jetzt kannst du wieder Babys haben.
Ich glaube, witzigerweise tatsächlich nach 4 Stunden kommt ein zweiter Knopf, den du dann drücken
Nein.
musst. Da musst du mal 1.
Oh.
Oh. Ja,
Ja. Nein. Ist er angetäuscht, ne? Ja. Ja, und nun?
Ach, Herr Opa, hi. Willkommen. Wir haben
You
gerade ein Baby
heartless
verbrennen lassen.
bastard. Did you do it because you hate
Yeah.
babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the
Yeah.
latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't
Yeah.
think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so
Yeah.
awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's
Stimmt,
see.
das kommt ja auch.
What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Kennst du das?
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
Du hast noch
At
nie
last,
gesehen?
the one thing
Ja,
you've
das habe ich
always
schon gesehen,
desired.
aber
A game I had absolutely nothing to do with.
Wie
But
heißt
is
es?
it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever
Guck
be
mal.
enough?
Check.
Well, I'll say
So,
this.
Gamerin.
I'm done
Huh?
making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here, no, here, and then. Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's
Awesome.
complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it
das war auch keine
perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond.
Habe ich tatsächlich so
Diamond
ein
everything.
bisschen
Yes, yes, yes.
Nur so
Come
die
on,
Vorstellung,
Stanley. We
so
have to get
Höhen.
mining.
okay.
Forschung irgendwie, weißt du?
Gut,
Ganz
das
eng
ist aber
gehalten.
dann ja auch extrem direkt.
Ja, gut, das. Wo ich das mal hatte, ich glaube, ich hatte auch mit Jan darüber gequatscht.
Ja.
Nach dem Abi auf Malle.
Hm?
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Dann an einer so einer Stelle am Strand, so ein bisschen abgelegen irgendwie. Und da
Oh,
war so,
no,
so
no,
ein
no,
Fels.
no. This is far more
mäßig irgendwie.
open-ended than I
Ja.
had in mind.
Und da konnte
I'm
man
looking
an
for
eine
something
Stelle
more
hin und da
narrow
musste
and
man
linear.
aber zwischen
Something that makes you
zwei
feel
großen,
utterly
riesigen
irrelevant.
Felsbrocken.
This
Im
won't do
Prinzip
at
so,
all. 1 out of 5.
bist du da runterher.
Even the diamonds
Es war
couldn't
nach
save
vorne hin
this one.
komplett offen, aber
Okay,
halt
new
so,
game.
ich sag mal so die Höhe irgendwie.
Ja.
So mit den Beinen nach draußen halt so irgendwie sich da so ein bisschen halt sitzen her.
Ja.
Das war in meinem Kopf so irgendwie ganz komisch.
Ja.
Vorstellung, dass theoretisch kann einfach dieser obere Stein einfach
Yes!
so
I don't even know what this game
Yeah.
is, but I
abdecken,
love it.
whatever.
You,
Und-
trapped in a glass box with
Ja,
no
das
way
wär's
out,
halt gewesen.
listening to
Und
me
die
talk.
Vorstellung
Oh,
bin ich
it's
noch-
inspired.
Alles klar,
I couldn't have done it any better
Aber du bist da
myself.
durch.
Ja,
What
ja,
is this
ja, ja.
game even supposed to be?
Und dann
I
musst du dann
can't
auch wieder
figure it
zurück.
out. Okay, now
Ja.
I'm curious. Let's
Das
go
war halt so
find
vielleicht
out
2
what the
Meter.
hell this
Ja,
is.
ja.
Weit, aber das
Ja,
war
okay.
einfach unangenehm.
Ja,
irgendwie.
ja.
Das ist übrigens, was wir gerade das Portal heißt das Spiel.
Oh,
Mein Lieblings. Portal,
it's a
Portal.
puzzle.
Eigentlich
Critical
so Portale
thinking,
mit
Stanley.
Okay.
Your forte.
Ich bin da jetzt eigentlich.
Weil ich durch die blaue Tür, nee, durch die. Doch.
Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you,
Sag
but
mal,
as for
Kletter.
me, I've
Ja.
had enough. So,
Anna,
why don't you
was
get
oder?
cozy in this
Ja,
room, and if you have any
Klettern
grand
machen.
revolutionary
Ja.
ideas for the
Nicht
perfect
irgendwie
video
Fels,
game, you can just sit there and let
dann
it
auch
ball up
quasi
inside you for all eternity.
Das
I don't
Abspringen
need your
irgendwie. Das war einmal mit
advice.
so einem
I don't
Safety-Sicherheitsding,
need
dass man da
your
alleine klettern kann.
ratings.
Und da muss man sich
And I
einfach nur von der
certainly
Wand
don't
fallen
need the
lassen.
validation of a
Und wird
man
halt automatisch
whose job
langsam
is to push
runtergelassen.
buttons. I think I'll
Und
just
da
go
habe ich auch
about my
dann
business,
brauche ich so einen
making
Moment und dann kann
meaningful
ich das, aber
cultural
dann ist auch die ganze Zeit,
contributions to
okay.
the world.
Check
And
mal, alles
perhaps
ist
every
alles
now and
dran,
then,
ist alles
I'll
richtig
think
und
back to a
Ja, ja.
man
Wird das
named
jetzt auch funktionieren?
Stanley
Oh Gott, ich
who
hab
was
schon. Und dann-
objectively
Ja.
wrong in
Ja,
every
natürlich
decision he
funktioniert's so,
ever
aber-
made. The thought won't
Danke für
last
die
long.
Sicherheit.
Ja. Oh. Tatsächlich weiß ich nicht mehr, dass das hier passiert.
Okay.
Oh, da ist Licht. Gut. So.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Sind wir wieder.
Jetzt sind wir wieder. Wo geht's lang?
Ja, wir müssen wieder da raus.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Also, so ein Pausenraum.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there, just a kind of, tingle. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Geradeaus.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Jetzt?
Sind wir wieder.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nehmen wir dann die rote.
Gut.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Nicht?
Ja.
Was nicht?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Runter.
Wieder runter?
Hier runter.
Ja, dann.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Hoch. Gesprochen.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Wieder zurück. Ja. Sprechender Mensch glücklich. Wir gehen hier hoch. Ja, wir können hier runterspringen.
Sehr gut.
Warum tust du?
Wir da runterspringen?
Mal springen. Schätze, wir springen?
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Ja.
Ja.
No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Spring nochmal.
Ja.
Ja.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Bisschen Manipulation.
Ein bisschen, ja.
Also.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along.
Ein bisschen.
But I guess that was too much
Aber wir sind ja
to
auch über
ask.
die Straße gerannt.
It looks like you wanted to make a choice after
Fine.
all.
Ja.
Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Komm. Ich dachte, wir machen einmal.
I can't wait to tell
That's
this
the,
story to my co-workers, Stanley thought.
the
How
Fehler
amusing
von
they'll
uns
find
möchte.
it. Oh, won't we all
Fehler
just
von
laugh
Fehler
and laugh at the
gemacht.
time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Nee. Bisschen Gateway gegangen.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
England.
Yet there was not a
Das
single
ist-
person
Don't
here
get fired.
either.
Don't get fired. Ja, das
Feeling a
machen wir
wave
ja. Wir
of
versuchen ja. Achso, übrigens.
Stanley
hier
decided to
rein.
go up to his
Wenn man hier
boss's
lange drin
office,
steht, dann
hoping he might find an
fehlt
answer
ja die ganze
there.
Zeit, dass da nichts im Leben-
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Ähm.
office.
Aber ich finde, man kann ja mal über Entscheidungen sprechen, um jetzt auch mal zum G-Aspekt von GG, Gehirn und Game zu kommen.
Das stimmt.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean?
Yeah.
Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Also es birgt ja
That
richtig
kind of
schön Grund für
anxiety
eine
isn't
Diskussion darüber, ob wir
healthy,
ins
so he
Rein will
relaxed
oder
for a
nicht.
few moments with some calming New Age music.
Ich finde, was das Spiel halt echt gut hinkriegt, einem da so die Illusion zu geben, sag ich mal, man hätte einen.
Ja.
Feeling soon
Innerhalb
and
des
rejuvenated,
Konstrukts von diesem
Stanley
Videospiel,
calmly
was ja nun mal
walked forward
vorgefertigt
into
ist,
the
wo man ja
opened
also
passageway.
nicht so wirklich insofern wirklich machen kann, was man
Nee.
will. So, es gibt ja einfach diesen festen Raum, in dem man sich bewegt, das
Ja.
was die Programmierer hier gemacht haben.
Ja.
Trotzdem aber einem so die Illusion
Ja.
zu geben oder es so stark zu verstärken, dass man irgendwie eigene Entscheidungen trifft und dann trotzdem noch währenddessen mit dem ganzen kritisch umzugehen.
Ja.
Dass einem auch manchmal an manchen Stellen wird einem irgendwie gesagt, so ja, denkst du überhaupt was?
Ja.
Stanley
Ja.
walked straight ahead through the
Wird ja auch
large
irgendwie
door that
gelenkt.
read Mind
Und
Control Facility.
Wenn man allem folgt, was einem gesagt wird, kommt man zum Mind Control. Ja, alles
okay.
fremdgesteuert.
Ja.
Das ist-
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible
Was glaubst du,
secret
gibt's
did this
einen
place
Feind?
hold? Stanley
Ja,
thought
das
to
ist
himself.
alles-
aber auch schon
alles,
wieder
was wir
tief,
tun,
ne?
To find
Kreativ
out.
bleiben. Aber
Ja.
gibt es das oder ist alles, was wir tun, vorher bestimmt? Oder ist es irgendwo dazwischen?
Ja, ich wollte gerade sagen, das sind jetzt auch wieder zwei Extreme, ne?
Ja, klar, aber also man kann ja schwarz-weiß denken. Das ist ja
Now
dann
the
einfach so
monsters
auf der
jump to
Welt.
life, their true nature revealed.
also
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals
sehr, sehr
reduced to
vielen
images
Einfluss.
on a screen,
Einfach auf
and
deine
Stanley,
Umgebung.
one of them,
Also,
eternally monitored in this
man würde ja
place
ganz
where freedom
andere Entscheidungen
meant
treffen, je
nothing.
nachdem, was auch dein Umfeld macht. Aber für Möglichkeiten.
This mind
Weißt du, was ich
control
meine?
facility, it
Also-
was too horrible to believe
Ja,
it
aber
couldn't
ist
be
es
true.
nicht das
Had
Umfeld, auf das
Stanley
man
really been under someone's
nicht so
control
wirklich einen
all this
Einfluss?
time?
Also man wird ja
Was this the
ich
only
sag mal,
reason
wenn
Ja,
man
ja.
von der eigenen
with
Familie
his
spricht,
boring
wird
Ja.
man ja
job,
reingeboren.
that his
Ja.
emotions had been manipulated to accept it
Ja.
Ja,
blindly?
allein das suchst du dir ja nicht aus.
Ja.
Ja.
No.
Und das hat ja schon einen
He
riesen
refused
Einfluss
to
auf
believe
deine
it. He
Entscheidungen.
couldn't
auf das, was du
accept
machst.
it. His own life in someone else's
das-
control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly
Freddy, falls
blind
du
to
das
the
mal irgendwann sehen
world?
wolltest, der hat mal ein Praktikum bei uns gemacht
Ah,
und
ja.
auch Kumpel von mir,
But
ich
here
kenne ihn
was the
schon seit ein paar
proof.
Jahren.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Der ist da
Happy
der ist da
or
knallhart,
sad
sagt, nee,
or
rein will ich
content.
nicht.
Walking, eating, working, all of it
Ganz
monitored and
Und was
commanded
sagst du?
from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that
bisschen-
this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
Also so ein bisschen
over
ich sag mal so ein
another
bisschen
human life.
freien Willen hat man
For
schon.
he
Jetzt
would
nicht irgendwie,
dismantle the controls once and for all.
das ist ganz schwierig.
Ja,
Ich glaube, so
deswegen-
größere Sachen sind schon irgendwie so ein bisschen also ich meine, klar, so das Land, in dem man geboren wird und in dem, ich sag mal, sozioökonomischen Schicht und was nicht alles so, da bist du halt ein. Oder hast du gar keinen Einfluss drauf.
Ja.
Aber ob ich mir jetzt heute Morgen irgendwie einen Käsetoast oder Eier zum Frühstück mache,
Klar, es kommt.
irgendwie
Ja.
so gut sonntags ist das auch keine freie Entscheidung, weil der alles
Ja. Ja, ich finde, wenn man das immer so weiter spinnt, dann hat es schon immer irgendwie einen
ja,
Einfluss.
irgendwo kann man schon ein bisschen.
Ja.
Aber, ich hatte da ein Seminar in der Uni zu, das
Blackness.
tatsächlich in den
And a rising chill of uncertainty.
vor allem, ich sag mal so
Was it over?
asiatischen Kulturen, sag ich mal,
He had won.
fast
He had
merkbar, dass sie
defeated the
deutlich
machine,
mehr von so einem
unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Determinismus.
Freedom was mere moments
also dass sie
away.
eher alle deterministisch
Ja.
eingestellt sind. Dass halt
Even
jetzt
as the
wirklich sagen,
immense
so, ja,
door slowly
ist halt
opened,
so irgendwie
Stanley
einfach-
reflected on
Das
how
ist
many
ja in
puzzles
Indien, das
still
ist ja ganz
lay
krass mit dem
unsolved.
Kastensystem, sag ich
Where
mal, das
had
ist ja
his
ja.
co-workers
offiziell
gone?
nicht mehr gibt.
How had he
aber-
been
Ja.
freed from the
Ja,
machine's
okay, da
grasp?
bist du halt dann
What
da
other
reingeboren.
mysteries did this
So, bist du halt der
strange
Mensch, der
building
du bist für den
hold?
Rest deines Lebens.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized
Gibt's
none
ja
of this
dann auch
mattered
keinen
to him,
Weg, sag ich
for
mal,
it was
da
not
raus.
knowledge
Ja.
or even power that
Hier
he
gibt's
had
schon einen
been
Weg raus.
seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to
Wählen wir jetzt wirklich
understand,
die Anwältin?
but to let go. No longer would
wow.
anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to
Ich mag das
feel.
Spiel sehr gerne. Das hat so viele
Whatever life he
schöne
lives,
Messages
it will
irgendwie
be
und
Ja.
his.
regt sehr zum
And
Nachdenken.
that was
Toll.
all he needed
Irgendwie
to know. It was perhaps
Da gibt es ja noch
only
die beiden,
thing worth
ich sag mal, eine
knowing.
Erweiterung von.
Stanley
Ja.
stepped through the
Da gibt es
open
einen
door.
Eimer zum Beispiel.
Was?
Ein Eimer.
Eimer? Okay.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his
Warte mal,
skin,
Eimer.
the
Der ist
feeling
Teil
of
des Spiels. Das
liberation,
ist,
Ach
der,
so.
the immense possibility of the new path
man kann
before
irgendwo
him.
findet man einen Eimer und dann hat man
This
den
was
Eimer
exactly
dabei
the
und dann
way,
erzählt der Erzähler
Right now, the
was der Eimer
things were
denkt.
meant to happen.
im
Okay.
Prinzip. Oder was Stanley denkt, was wir denken, was der
Okay.
Eimer
Was
denkt. Irgendwie
happy.
so.
Okay.
Ja, das ist ein Teil von Stanley Parable. Man auch machen kann, die Tür hier zu. Aber der Typ
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the
Ah,
pressure.
okay.
What if he
Ja.
had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome
Ja.
fell under his responsibility?
Anna, ich würde sagen,
He had never been trained
für
for
heute
that. No.
war's das.
This
Lieber
couldn't
Chat,
go
alle, die
anywhere
zugeguckt haben,
except
Dankeschön.
badly. The
Oder
thing
mal
to
ein
do
bisschen
now,
hier
Stanley thought to
eingeführt.
himself,
Bisschen eingeführt? Ja, nächstes Mal bist du dann dran.
nothing will
hier.
hurt me.
Ja.
Nothing
Daniel.
will break
Okay.
me.
Kannst ja deinen Bruder
In here
fragen,
I can be
ob er sich
happy.
Ja,
For-
ja, ja. Ich glaube, ich üben bis
I will be happy. Stanley waited.
Und
Und dann
Hours
berichte ich auch nächstes Mal, dass ich gespielt habe.
so. Ähm,
Ja.
ja, Vielen Dank fürs Zugucken an alle. Wir sehen uns nächste Woche wieder mit Jan und mir, glaube ich. Tabelle.
Ja. Jetzt.
Nee. Ich würde sagen,